Amazing. Mark joins us now. It's lovely to see you. Always lovely to see you. The pandemic was a nightmare. Lockdown was absolutely hideous. No one could believe what was happening. But then it's now that we're seeing all of these incredible works that were all created during that time when people didn't have any other opportunity. And that's the same with you, really, isn't it?
Yeah, very much so. Pretty much just before the kind of lockdown and things closed, I wrote this song. I started to make a record. I was thinking about what I was kind of going to do because I knew I had a break from Take That.
Yeah.
Because we finished the 30-year anniversary. So we all said, right, we'll have some time off from each other. And I got this one song called Rio, which is on the album, which I got really excited about. And it sort of made me realise that I think I'm making a record here. And I spoke to this wonderful producer called Jennifer De Silvio, who's out in Los Angeles, and had the conversation. We made these, we talked about the song and what we were going to do, and then everything closed. And I was like stuck with this song.
Ready to
go in the studio and start recording. But it's been a wonderful process, and it gave me time to sort of make the record. And once I got off my own sort of treadmill that I felt I had to be on and be doing, I really took the time to make the record.
It's funny because you said you fell in love with music again, and I feel like you can always judge where somebody is in life, whether it be sort of within their own head and how they feel about things by looking at what they're writing. And, you know, you look at it, it's magic, superpower, you only want me, being human. Like, I feel like this is a reflection of you being in a really lovely place, actually.
Yeah, do you know, well, I don't know how that sort of comes out, but yeah, they're all big titles, aren't they?
Yeah, yeah.
So I had something to live up to, which was...
Did it give you the opportunity to almost, and I think you've said it gives you the opportunity to write, you know, that's all that for the moment. Now I start again.
Yeah, and focus. And it was a challenge. I think going to Los Angeles for me was the challenge of doing that and trying to find new inspiration, because I've been doing it a long time, like 30 odd years now. And so to try and be inspired with, like, what can I do that's new, that feels new and feels fresh?
The funny thing is, you were saying, just as you sat down, that you can't have an album like this unless you've got these sort of colours on them. This is California as an album.
That is the colour, yeah.
Those are the colours.
Yeah, if you wanted, like, something dark, it's the wrong place.
Yeah. So why, you've been there for how long?
About 4 years now. We first went out. We talked about it for a long time, and again, because the break came in the band, we just thought it's a great opportunity. My boy loves skateboarding, so I found my way around California through visiting skate parks. Every weekend we'd drive off to another skate park, and my girls wanted a locker. You know, like in Pitch Perfect, like in the movies. They were very excited about decorating a locker. So.
But you are coming back because you've got a very important job to do, because you're going on tour in October. You're getting back out there, which I know you're probably really excited to be back up on stage again.
I can't wait, to be honest. I think not just me, but I think many people sort of in that world of touring, whether it's, you know, drivers, the riggers, you know, it all closed down for such a long time. And I think this summer and carrying on, it's felt like things have started to the festivals have been back on. I went to Coachella, so I had a great time. I've become a fan of music more than anything the last few years, but it's really great to be back out on the road and performing and I think connecting again with an audience.
Yeah.
Well, one of the big titles on here is Magic, and I think we've got a little bit of a magic for you. What the hell are you driving?
I have no idea. It's actually called a slingshot, and you can rent them. If ever you go back, rent it, get it from the airport. It's good, great fun. But it's all open, and it's like a bit like a go-kart, really. But it glowed, it did lots of things, and it was a brilliant evening. We basically wanted to just get out and have fun, and I played the song really loud, and I was driving around down the PCH, like, in my slingshot, and the roof's down, my hair's blowing in the wind.
Pacific Coast Highway.
Yeah, Pacific Coast Highway, down by the water.
PCH.
And PCH, I know all the terminology now. But it was, it's funny because you're all open, you think you're going really fast. So and then they have those speed things, you know, check your speed on the side of the car. And I was going like 25 kilometres an hour, but I felt like I was doing like 100 miles an hour, you know. But
something else that's lovely about the album is that am I right in saying your daughters feature on the album as well? So I mean,
which is amazing.
Isn't that lovely?
Yeah, really, really special. And every time I hear it and I hear their voices, it really fills me. They're brilliant as well.
Yeah.
You know, they're exciting. We have a midweek in the UK here, and she phoned me yesterday to say congratulations on having your album out. And I said, congratulations to you. This is Fox, my youngest. I said, you're singing on a hit album. Congratulations to you. And Willow's my other daughter, yeah. So they're both on there and made up.
And so we have to ask you because there is I think you've hinted yourself. There's some little rumbles, rumours. You know, the guys still do get together. There's still plans. Still something else to do.
Always, yeah. And I've seen them this week, which has been lovely. We have a movie coming out next year called Greatest Days, which we're excited about. We've seen a rough cut.
And this is based on the musical, your musical.
On the musical, yeah.
Brilliant.
Which is our music sort of plays a backdrop to the story, and it was brilliant. I went with Gaz to go and see it, but we went to this cinema, but we weren't allowed to have popcorn, so we were a bit gutted in the cinema that we couldn't eat popcorn. But the movie,
what sort of a cinema is that?
looks great, and we've been talking about getting back in the studio, so we hope to do that next year as well.
Please hurry up. Well, half of the nation.
Absolutely. Land of Dreams out now, and tickets for the tour are also available now. It's lovely to see you.
So nice to see you. Thanks for having us on.
Pleasure.
Right, it's time to find out what the loose women are talking about.
He's in the kitchen with the sausage tray bake and Mark Owen.
Oh my God, you've got an apron.
I have. I am ready.
He's been here 20 years and has never had an apron. He's been here 20 minutes.
Do I get a hat?
Do you want one?
Yeah.
It could be arranged.
We're in the kitchen now with Phil Vickery, who has an assistant who's going to make a delicious sausage tray bake. I'm assuming, seeing as you're only here for a limited amount of time, your days must be very busy, lots of promos. So we've put you in the apron so that if you splash anything, it doesn't wreck the rest of your day's interview.
And I don't smell of kitchen all day.
So what are we making then?
Here it is. So every country in the world has a sausage dish of some description. And I just thought we'd have a look at that because I think they're tasty, really nice. Mark doesn't eat sausage, which is fine, but we can still do the base together.
I am so down with it.
Very simple. Turn the oven on, 180 to 200 degrees to start with, all on. Right, boss?
Yes.
In here we have chopped potatoes, nice and small, around about a centimetre. See that there? I'll just show you that.
Skins on.
No, skins on. Washed well, otherwise it's like eating sandy sandwiches. Awful.
Okay.
Right, if you chuck them peppers into there.
All of them?
All of them. Look at that. Now I'll give you a spoon. Give it a bit of a mix up.
What sort of things do you like cooking, out of interest?
Well, I do a plant-based sausage casserole at home. But I like doing tray bakes because it's easier.
Yeah.
So you can prep it and then go and pick the kids up and then come back
everyone
in.
pile in.
Your eldest is doing a bit of cooking.
My eldest, yeah, he loves cooking and he's very creative. He's the same as you, Holly. He doesn't go off recipe. He likes to just get creative.
Make it up.
Cool, right.
But he doesn't do washing. So he does cooking, but not the bit after. That's where I
Just like me.
Right, can of tomatoes, 400 grams, in juice, chopped, goes in there, OK? Now, I've added a bit of pepper, but no salt at this point, Mark, because I'm adding 2 chicken stock cubes, the crumbly ones.
Right.
It's always a great thing to add a bit of stock to these.
Isn't it just? So this acts like salt and pepper. So if you could I'll break one.
Crumble them.
Break one, crumble them in there, look at that, in it goes. They did go everywhere, a bit of a nightmare, but as long as you
Just
can,
a bit of a
it's fine.
tasting update for you. This is absolutely delicious.
It's so tasty, isn't it?
It's
But you
really
have to
good.
cook it for a long time.
That is a good sausage.
Yeah.
Now, olive oil,
Is that
Olive oil.
extra virgin olive oil.
I think it's easy.
That's so good.
OK, give it a bit of a stir up, Mark.
It's this stirring that I
Yeah, I
really
will
enjoy.
put a little bit of salt in, not too much because you've got the stock cube, which adds as a background flavour. Lovely. And in there, we have 1 sachet, 200 grams of lentils, which have been cooked.
Cooked.
Now-
How long? Because I always struggle a bit with lentils.
Right, you have to soak them really.
I know, like days before. When you sometimes you read the pack and it says soak for
Overnight.
like 3 months. I'm
Yeah,
like, huh?
exactly.
I'm hungry now.
Yeah, but these ones here,
He's on toast then.
but these ones come in a sachet already cooked.
OK.
You can buy a canned version as well. If you've got the canned version, you need to rinse them off because they're in like a brine. So if you whack them in as well,
Brilliant.
in there, look at that. Give it a good old stir up. Perhaps I should get help more often. I
Do you know what? You should. Yeah, I would definitely ask for it.
So I'll see you next Wednesday, all right?
Next Wednesday,
Okay.
I'm here.
Right, so give that a mix up. Then I want you to chuck that in there for me. Whack it, turn the whole thing into there. Lovely, in that goes. Now, my mum's watching this, so make sure you scrape the bowl because she'll give you a telling off, otherwise...
Don't you worry.
Don't waste any of it.
I am there.
She rings me up and says, Philip, she calls me Philip. Philip, I do like you call on television, however, you are very wasteful.
Really?
Yeah. So, Mum, if you're watching, it's not my fault, it's his fault.
No.
There you go.
Well, she'll be proud of me.
No, look at that.
Right. Now, in here, I have the sausages. Now, any sausage will do, including a vegetarian version if you'd like. Don't worry about that. They didn't see it. You're fine. So what I've done is give it a little bit of colour, OK? Now, you don't have to because you can whack it in the oven. However, you just need to make sure it just looks good, doesn't it, as well? So we just drop these on top. Now,
So you haven't cut them up?
no,
Put them in.
no, exactly as they are. You can if you want.
Now just turn that.
You can do whatever you want, Chef. It's whatever you want. What about that one?
Bleeding.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
can get the last one out as well.
Nobody's going to eat this, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah, I mean, you
You
are.
say that.
Yes, they are.
You might.
After. Right. So, is the whole family veggie?
Yeah, well, I was veggie for a long time, but then Fox went to school and then she came home one day and said, I want to go veggie. So I went with her to go veggie, and the rest go float in and out a little bit.
Yeah.
Right, in the oven. 180 to 200 degrees, around about 15 minutes. And it'll end up with a little beauty here. Now, that's be a bit warm, so be careful. There we are. So that's that. Now, what you need to do is add a little touch of oil to that. Mark, a little bit of a touch of that. Just on there.
On the top.
Yes, a little bit of a drizzle. And then over here, we have
This is what
tapenade.
I was asking
You're
Phil about.
enjoying that, aren't you?
This.
Tapenade.
Did you make that or did you buy that? You bought it.
Of course I did.
Okay. No, I didn't know because it's really
There's
tasty.
a reason why,
You
Holly.
can make it if
Of
you
course
want.
you can, yeah. The reason why, because it comes. The French version has anchovies in it, and I know you don't like anchovies.
Has this got anchovies?
No, this has sun-dried tomatoes and cumin instead. So I know you
It's
don't like
really
them.
nice.
So that's tapenade, which is an olive paste with sun-dried
It
tomatoes.
just works really well with like the lentils and peppers and stuff. Like that flavour's
It works.
delish.
Dot a little bit over there, bit of fresh basil if you got it, and then give it a good old stir up, Mark.
When you say a dot, do you mean like
That's it,
on each
perfect.
sausage?
No, anywhere you like.
Anywhere? Oh,
Yeah.
just...
Anywhere you like. Now, the only thing I have added also, which perhaps not, keep going, that's it, Chef, look at that. Not Ainsley Harriott. So, the only thing I do add is vinegar.
Yeah.
Vinegar cuts the richness of the sausages, the tapenade, the olive oil,
See, I would never think to do that.
just a little bit.
You've been such a good sport. I'm giving you another mention of your
Stir up,
album.
stir up, stir up.
Oh, you're very kind. Thank you so much. I appreciate that.
Give it a
Can
go.
I just say, though, vinegar is not easy to find in America.
Really?
Yeah, no, it's
Really?
They
funny.
don't have, like,
white
this-
wine vinegar, they do lots of different vinegars.
that right?
But not chippy vinegar.
Chippy vinegar.
Chippy vinegar,
You'll have
like
to have a load
malt
up before you
vinegar.
go back
I
then.
will. I'm going to take some back with me.
Right, give it a stir up, Mark.
You stir this?
Stir it up. Stir it all up. Mix it all together.
It's
all
a
up.
nightmare. He's made a dish you can't
I
taste.
know.
I know, I'm really
and
sorry.
it looks so pretty.
Yeah.
Next time you come on, we'll have some plant-based lovely food.
That's
that
it.
we can actually have.
That's
Don't
it.
worry. He did
In
say
the
I
meantime,
could
we'll eat it.
Yeah, yeah.
And,
More for
and there you
more
go.
for
For cooking in the
there,
kitchen,
look at
he's
that.
got another mention.
Lovely.
Bless you.
Good luck with the tour as well.
Yes, lovely to
Bless
see you.
Nice to see you. Enjoy your
Thank
lunch,
you.
guys.
Thank you.
I
Thank
better
you.
go.
Top fella.
For
Thank you.
details
Nice
of
to see
today's
you.
recipe and more delicious ideas from our chefs, download the free This Morning app.